Hey, Yellowstone fans, welcome back! Have you heard the latest buzz? The 1,944 cast leaks are just the tip of the iceberg, and they're stirring up a storm of excitement and speculation. From surprising new faces to jaw-dropping roles that could shake up the Dutton saga, these leaks have fans talking non-stop. Are these the characters who will redefine the legacy of the Yellowstone Ranch? Stick around because we're breaking it all down, and trust me, you don't want to miss these juicy details. Confirmed V's. Rumored cast members. Several reports surrounding the upcoming 1,944 prequel have stirred excitement by hinting at a mix of returning veterans from the Yellowstone universe and entirely new faces. While no cast has been officially announced by Paramount or Taylor Sheridan himself, some actors from 1923 and even 1883 have subtly teased continued involvement, fueling speculation. Notably, whispers about Darren Mann, Jacob Dutton's nephew, Jack, or Michelle Randolph, Elizabeth's return, have mostly died down following the confirmed fate of their characters. Instead, the focus has shifted to fresh leads, particularly those who might portray the next generation of Duttons, born between the end of 1923 and the new series' World War I era setting. Among the biggest rumored additions is an unnamed male lead, reportedly being cast as a decorated World War II veteran returning home to the Yellowstone Ranch. Casting breakdowns leaked online describe a stoic yet emotionally haunted rancher in his 30s, sparking theories that this could be the son of Spencer Dutton. Industry insiders have also reported that Sheridan is looking at both big Hollywood names and newcomers for the part, much like he did with Tim McGraw and Isabel May in 1883. Though still unofficial, fans have speculated names like Glenn Powell and even Yellowstone's own Luke Grimes in a different generational role. Another intriguing rumor involves the addition of a strong female lead, believed to be either the new Dutton matriarch or someone who marries into the family during the chaos of the war years. Described as sharp, fearless, and unwaveringly loyal, this character is expected to clash with outside forces threatening the ranch, possibly federal interest or rival cattle empires. There's buzz that Sheridan is aiming for someone with both acting chops and mainstream appeal, think along the lines of an Emmy contender or someone with crossover success in both film and streaming. For returning characters from 1923, speculation is running wild. While there is a chance Spencer Dutton may show up again in this series, we may see other characters like Zane, the fiercely loyal ranch hand who became a fan favorite for his quiet strength and deep sense of justice. His role in protecting the Dutton legacy could continue into 1944, especially if the ranch faces new threats during wartime. Possible new Dutton. With 1944 diving into one of the most turbulent decades in American history, there's a real opportunity to focus on the emotional aftermath of Spencer Dutton's journey rather than introducing new blood. The story could lean into how his absence or the mystery surrounding his fate shapes the choices of those left behind. A character's legacy doesn't always need to be carried forward by descendants. Sometimes it lingers in the silence, the unresolved tension, and the decisions others make in their shadow. Spencer's influence could echo through the ranch in subtle but powerful ways, maybe through someone trying to live up to his example, or by avoiding his mistakes. That kind of emotional storytelling could give 1944 an extra layer of depth while still honoring what came before. Another likely addition is the patriarch or matriarch who leads the Yellowstone Ranch in this era, potentially the spouse of Spencer's child or someone who married into the family during or after the war. Taylor Sheridan is known for creating strong, layered characters, so it's probable this new Dutton will be shaped by the wartime experience, with trauma, sacrifice, and patriotism all influencing their approach to protecting the land. This Dutton could be a decorated war hero, a strategic rancher, or both, bridging the old world legacy of 1883 and 1923. The modern grit seen in the flagship Yellowstone is also present, and there's room for siblings or cousins of the main Dutton heir to show up, possibly forming rivalries or deepening the Dutton family tree. We could see internal power struggles as different family members compete for leadership or hold conflicting visions for the future of the ranch. These dynamics would add the kind of slow burn tension and betrayal Sheridan fans expect. Introducing new Dutton cousins or distant relatives could also allow 1944 to connect back to previous storylines and clarify long-standing mysteries about the family's bloodline. Finally, 1944 may give us answers about how the Duttons transitioned from survival mode ranchers to a family of power and influence in Montana. The new generation will likely be shaped by war, industrialization, and political pressure factors that could redefine what it means to be a Dutton. These characters may be the ones who institutionalized the family's grip on Yellowstone, laying the foundation for the modern Duttons we meet in the original series. Through them, 1944 could explore how loyalty, land, and legacy evolve or fracture across time. New villains or rival families. With 1944 diving into the chaos of wartime America, it's the perfect setting for Sheridan to introduce a ruthless new villain or a rival family hungry for a piece of the Yellowstone Ranch. The Duttons have always been defined by their enemies, and this era with its economic pressures, returning soldiers, and political shakeups could produce antagonists unlike anything we've seen before. Imagine a powerful Montana land baron with political ties in D.C. using the war as a distraction to try and seize Dutton land under the guise of patriotism or eminent domain. A villain like that wouldn't just be a local threat, they'd be national. There's also the possibility of a new cattle empire rising in Montana, challenging the Duttons not just with money and resources, but with a different vision for the future of the West. Think of a younger, industrial-minded rival family, perhaps from the East, trying to modernize ranching and erase the old ways the Duttons hold dear. This clash of tradition versus progress could echo the core conflict of the original Yellowstone, but with 1940 stakes. Railroads, oil, government contracts, and war profits would all fuel the fire. Sheridan might also introduce enemies from within characters who were once allies of the Duttons, or even family members turning against them. A disgruntled former ranch hand who felt betrayed by the family, or a Dutton cousin who believes they have a rightful claim to the land could easily step into an antagonist role. These villains would be more complex, less about pure evil, and more about fractured loyalty, resentment, and ambition, the kind of morally gray storytelling Sheridan thrives on. Finally, don't count out federal forces or government agents playing the long game. During World War II, many ranches were targeted for military use, resource extraction, or wartime infrastructure. A slick-talking bureaucrat or ruthless businessman working under the guise of patriotism could be the kind of snake in the grass villain that slowly tightens the noose. If 1944 brings that kind of slow burn threat, it could raise the stakes to a whole new level, testing the Duttons not just physically, but politically and psychologically. New female leads or matriarch. A fresh generation of female leads could redefine the tone and depth of 1944, especially with the absence of familiar figures like Alex. Taylor Sheridan has always written strong women into the Yellowstone universe, and this series presents an opportunity to introduce a new matriarch who isn't just a love interest, but a power player in her own right. Whether it's Spencer's mysterious wife or a formidable widow running her own land nearby, the show could explore women navigating the shifting societal expectations of the 1940s, while asserting their influence in a changing world. In the ranching world, it's entirely possible that one of the new female leads is a war widow or a woman who took over a ranch while the men were off fighting. This setup would naturally lead to tension or alliances with the Duttons. Imagine a character who built her own empire out of necessity, now clashing with or challenging the traditional patriarchal control of Yellowstone. Her story could introduce questions of independence, land ownership, and the changing roles of women in the West during the war era, all while bringing emotional weight and complexity to the series. Sheridan may also introduce younger female characters who represent the next generation. These could be daughters of the Duttons, or rival families navigating their place in a world shaped by legacy, power, and war. One could be a nurse returning from Europe with secrets of her own, while another might be drawn into the family's legacy reluctantly, unsure whether she wants to carry the burden of the ranch. These perspectives could bring both conflict and emotional richness to the story, while giving the audience new voices to follow. Most importantly, a new matriarch could act as a stabilizing or destabilizing force within the Dutton family. If Spencer's wife is still alive, or his new partner may be at the heart of the story, she may be tasked with holding the family together during a time of great upheaval. Or, in classic Sheridan fashion, she could have her own ambitions that don't perfectly align with tradition. Either way, the women of 1944 have the potential to steal the show. What Spencer's legacy might mean. Spencer Dutton's legacy is one of survival, grit, and a relentless drive to return home, traits that could ripple through 1944 in ways both subtle and seismic. While Spencer himself may no longer be present, his decisions and relationships will cast a long shadow over the Dutton family. Whether it's his sons carrying the Dutton name or another character shaped by his absence, the emotional scars of war and family duty could define how the next generation handles ranch conflict and personal loyalty. One key question is whether Spencer's influence leads his children to embrace or reject the Dutton way of life. If he instilled in them the same adventurous, restless spirit that took him across the globe, it's possible his offspring don't share the same passion for the Yellowstone Ranch. That internal friction between legacy and identity could create a new kind of tension in the series. A son trying to honor a father's memory while forging his own path could be just the kind of slow-burning conflict that Sheridan thrives on.
Ultimately, Spencer's legacy may not just be about the land or the family name. It could be about the question of belonging. Having once been a man torn between continents and identities, his descendants might wrestle with similar questions. What does it mean to be a Dutton? Who gets to carry that torch? And how far are they willing to go to protect or abandon it? Those answers could shape not only 1944, but the future of the entire Yellowstone universe. Taylor Sheridan's casting strategy. Taylor Sheridan has never followed the conventional playbook when it comes to casting, and that's a big part of what keeps fans hooked. He blends household names with breakout talents, creating casts that feel both fresh and grounded. With 1944, expectations are sky high, especially with rumors swirling about major stars joining the Yellowstone universe. But if Sheridan's past choices are any clue, he's likely to cast based on authenticity and chemistry over fame, ensuring that every character feels like they truly belong in that rugged Montana setting. Sheridan also has a knack for bringing in actors who can embody generational toughness, those with a presence that commands attention. Think about how Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren elevated 1923. For 1944, he may once again seek out legacy performers or actors with a strong dramatic range, especially for roles that depict the emotional and physical toll of war. The balance between younger actors and seasoned veterans could be essential in showing how the Duttons evolve during such a turbulent historical period. Another key element in Sheridan's casting strategy is loyalty. He often brings back actors he's worked with before, those who understand his writing style and can deliver that slow-burn tension he's known for. That means we might see familiar faces from Yellowstone, 1883, or 1923 popping up in new roles or as descendants of earlier characters. Sheridan tends to build a creative family around his projects, which helps ensure a consistent tone and emotional depth across the shows. Finally, Sheridan's casting often includes wild cards, relative unknowns who end up stealing scenes. These surprises keep the audience engaged and allow the world of 1944 to grow in unexpected directions. Whether it's a rising star playing a new Dutton heir or a charismatic antagonist shaking things up, his choices usually feel bold but earned. And in a show like 1944, where legacy and identity are everything, casting the right person isn't just about who looks the part. It's about who can carry the weight of a story decades in the making. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 1944 video. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Who are you most excited to see join the Yellowstone universe? And what shocks do you think are in store? Drop your theories in the comments. I'll be reading through and joining the conversation. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to The Wrangler for all the latest scoop on your favorite Dutton drama. Hit that notification bell so you're always the first to know when a new video drops. Follow us on TikTok and take a look at our shop for lots of cool stuff. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you next time for more twists, turns, and Yellowstone buzz. See you soon.